question. If I have to drive to work in Midlands, you don't get an easy run in Holland. I'm in Germany. When in Germany...
Europe is riddled after the wave of powerful storms swept across the continent, bringing hurricane-force wind, torrential rain, hail and flooding from Spain to Poland. Authorities have confirmed dozens of fatalities and hundreds of injured, with hundreds of thousands of households remain without electricity. In France, Paris and hammered by heavy rain is a lightning force to close at the metro lines and grounded flights to Charlotte the airport. Streets and flying and borders turned into rivers. An emergency crew reported more than 5,000 clouds overnight. Germany also brought to Brest with a tornado-like wind North Rhine-Westphalia, ripping roofs to homes and uprooted trees. Rail service were suspended, highway blocked, and the school closed to official urged residents to stay indoors. It felt like the sky exploded, said Jens Fischer, with so-called lifted to overturned by sudden gusts. In Italy, Venice and Milan were swept by the flash floods, while the Rome enduring the violent hailstorm that shattered windows and damaged cars. Authorities warned to rising river levels in the north, in the fear of further flooding in the Po Valley. Spain forcing massive coastal swells and lightning storms, particularly in Barcelona and Valencia, where the Poland and Czech Republic struggled with the power cuts and transportation shutdowns after gale force winds across Central Europe. Airports across the continent suffered several days while thousands of travelers were stranded with the train station. Insurance provider estimates that the damage could reach billions of euros after gale force winds across Central Europe. Airports across the continent suffered several days with thousands of Mediterranean said the storm system was following the coastal line by a Mediterranean air called Atlantic Front, creating a volatile chain reaction across Europe. Scientists the climate change is making such extreme wide-reaching weather events increasingly frequent.
Hi!
Southern Germany has been hit by relating after a violent hailstorm battered Bavaria, shattered with windows, damaged rooftops, and leaving residents standing by the scale of destruction. The storm swept across the region with little warning, unleashing hailstones the large of tennis ball. Streets in Munich, Augsburg, and surrounding towns were carpeted in ice, with the cars were left dented with white shifts smashed. It was like gunfire from the sky, said Klaus Richter, a resident of Augsburg. A hospital treated dozens of people to their cars burst and hit injuries. Children and elderly were most affected, with the emergency responded rushing to provide shelter in a school and a sports hall in the rural area. The storm was equally devastated. Groups of Borzey, maize, and a vineyard across Bavaria were pumped, with farmers reported losses that could total tens of millions of euros. Transport ground to the hail, trains were delayed, the stock were blocked, fallen branches that the breeze were fighting from Munich airport were disrupted due to damaged aircraft and poor visibility. Highway torn hazards with the multiple accidents caused the slippery and ice-covered roads. Tourists were also cut off in the chaos. Visitors to Neuschwanstein Castle and Bavaria, farmers Alpine village showed a dramatic image for the hail building up for the snowdrifts, with local accompanied the summer storm to the winter blizzard. Meteorologists explained that the hailstorm was triggered by unstoppable air masses, colliding the southern Germany, intensified by record summer heat. Climate experts warn the extreme hail events are becoming more frequent across Europe, pressing homes, agriculture, and infrastructure under increasing threat.
Astagfirullah, ya Allah. Ayah, 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 astagfirullahaladzim. Astagfirullahaladzim, la ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Allahu Akbar.
Several music festivals and outdoors events were cancelled, leaving thousands and visitors stranded at makeshift shelters. Switzerland too reported significant damage. In Zurich and Midlands, public transport was suspended as a hail closed rail lines and flooded tram tunnels. Airways saw delays, where insurers prepared for the decided one of the most expensive summer storms in recent years. Hospitals across affected countries treated hundreds of injuries from cuts of barriers and the most serious trauma caused by the fallen debris. Power outage hit tens of thousands of homes while schools and businesses closed in the hardest hit regions. Meteorologists explained that the storm was triggered by the collisions of humid Mediterranean air with the cold northern winds, producing intense supercells capable of generating giant hail. Scientists warn such events are becoming more frequent as Europe warned. We are seeing a climate shift, say climatologist Dr. Eva Schinder. Storms like these, once rare, are now a growing threat. Despite the disruption, communities are relevant. Volunteers cleared streets of ice, neighborhood sheltered fruits and extended travels, and an emergency crew worked tirelessly to restore power. As Europe begin counting the cost and a hailstorm severe as another stark reminder of nature growing volatility and the urgent need to resilience in affairs of climate experts. Madrid has been plunged into chaos after a powerful storm swept across the Spanish capital, bringing torrential rain, gale force winds and flash flooding that left entire neighborhoods underwater. In just few hours, more than a month, was in rain, overwhelming drainage and transformed streets into fast-flowing rivers. Cars were swept away, metro stations flooded, and power lines collapsed, plunging parts of the city in darkness. It was terrified, said Lauza Fernandez, a shop assistant who was received from the standard car. The water rose so quickly, I thought I would make it out alive. Authorities confirmed several fatalities and dozens of injured. Hundreds of residents were evacuated from basements in low-lying homes, and emergency service working around the clock, often wading chest deep through the floodwaters. Public transportation suffered severe disruption. Madrid metro network were particularly shut, while train and buses forced long delays. Barajas International Airport suspended flight for several hours, stranded passengers amidst scenes of confusion. Tourists were also caught in the chaos, with landmarks like Puerta del Sol and Plaza Major submerged. Videos shared online showed hailstones bouncing across historic squares and water pouring down the steps of the Prada Museum. In surrounding region, farmland was badly hit. Vineyards and olive groves were inundated just weeks before harvest, threatening significant agricultural losers. Economists warned the storm financial toll could run into hundreds of millions of euros. Meteorologists explained that the storm was triggered by a clash between humid Mediterranean air cold Atlantic front intensified by record summer heat. Experts warn that climate change is increasing to frequency such extreme weather events across Spain, already one of Europe's most climate vulnerable nations.